Everyone is paying a price for the prevalent pandemic. The lockdowns put in place in most countries to stem the COVID-19 epidemic have thrown together the victims of domestic violence with their tormentors. In a reference to his repeated appeals for a ceasefire in conflicts around the world, the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has called for an end to domestic violence resulting from the pressures of dealing with the epidemic. Guterres is calling for measures to address a horrifying global surge in domestic violence, which is linked to lockdowns imposed by various governments around the world. He also maintained that since violence is not confined to the battlefield, for many women and girls, threat looms largest where they should be safest, that is, in their own homes.
I appealed for an end to violence everywhere now. But violence is not confined to the battlefield. For many women and girls, the threat looms largest where they should be safest, in their own homes. And so I make a new appeal today for peace at home and in homes around the world. We know lockdowns and quarantines are essential to suppressing COVID-19, but they can trap women with abusive partners. Over the past weeks, as economic and social pressures and fear have grown, we have seen a horrifying global surge in domestic violence. In some countries, the number of women calling support services has doubled. Meanwhile, healthcare providers and police are overwhelmed and understaffed. Local support groups are paralyzed or short of funds. Some domestic violence shelters are closed, others are full.
When households are placed under strain, the risk of such violence tends to increase, and some communities have started showing that COVID-19 is driving similar trends right now. Considering the economic impact of COVID-19 hitting women harder as more women work in low-paying, insecure and informal jobs, the United Nations Secretary General has now urged all governments to make prevention and redress of violence against women a key part of their response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
I urge all governments to make the prevention and redress of violence against women a key part of their national response plans for COVID-19. That means increasing investment in online services and civil society organizations, making sure judicial systems continue to prosecute abusers, setting up emergency warning systems in pharmacies and groceries, declaring shelters as essential services, and creating safe ways for women to seek support without alerting their abusers. Women's rights and freedoms are essential to strong, resilient societies. Together we can and must prevent violence everywhere, from war zones to people's homes, as we work to beat COVID-19.